Skye Squad, we are back in the building, and today we got to talk some news with regards to Real Housewives of the Atlanta. Now, of course, we got to cover the fallout from Low and his little, tongue action and whatever else they had allegedly going on down to the house in the good Charleston on the cash trip. Okay, we got to talk about that. But, today we're going to be talking about Miss Quad Webb and Simone from Married to Medicine doing some commentary on the situation with the girls' trip in the Real Housewives of Atlanta show. So, kind of got a little bit of a crossover, and Quad and Simone have some really strong opinions about some of Kenya's actions on this trip. So, we're going to stage dive into that. Then we're going to talk about this epic read session, okay, that Porsha done gave down to the Kenya, okay? Epic read session. So we got to talk about that. And we also got to talk about, Kenya responding back to the feedback that she got on this week's episode. But before we get into that, can we talk about this coldest water bottle right here? Listen, I don't know if y'all got your hands on one of these things yet, but it might be like getting your hands on a piece of that Bolo. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's all I'm saying, but the water is real good and cold, for 24 hours. I don't know if Bolo can do that for you, but what I do know is that you can enter to win one of these in the weekly drawing, or you can basically get 10% off your purchase by using code DJ Richie Skye, okay? Maybe it's Bolo sized. I don't know. That might tickle your fancy a little bit. But get your hands on one down below. Now that we got that out the way, okay, because we had to talk about that, right? We had to talk about the sponsor, okay? So anyway, let's get back down to the business, right? Now, Quad, who is now a friend of the wives, okay? So before we get to the chaos between Porsha and Kenya, Quad basically was recapping the episode with Dr. Simone Whitmore, okay? Simone is back full-time on Married to Medicine, of course. What would it be without Simone, okay? So when they were talking about the girls' trip, okay, and they were talking about the elements of the trip that made it what it was, especially in the beginning, they were talking about Kenya Moore taking the private jet and leaving the other ladies in the dust, okay? So this is what they had to say. Quad says, so basically they're going to be on a real jet. Meanwhile, the girls are on a school bus. Kenya was trying to be a low down, shady A person. Real talk. She meant it. She did it the way she wanted it to go. She did it with intent. Okay. Now, for Simone, she was kind of wondering why Kenya would do something like this at the start of the trip. Okay. She says, but then how do you expect to be on the trip and have fun if this is how you're starting the trip that you are hosting? Okay. And so then Quad said, because it ain't about the fun. It's about being shady, okay? Let me know what y'all think. Was this shenanigans? Was it on purpose? Was it purposely to make the other girls feel left out, to start a conversation, to start some chaos and drama? What do you think? They went on to sort of ask questions about, why was LaToya on the jet and not Cynthia Bailey, okay? Simone said Kenya is supposed to be close to Cynthia. Why is she taking LaToya and not that good Cynthia? Quad responded, because the relationship has shifted clearly and she can have influence over Toya. I said, what? I didn't even think about it like that, really. I mean, I always try to look at these situations with a third eye, and I understood. I mean, for me, the way I understood it was that, she kind of already had influence over Toya. But I guess maybe that would have solidified it if I'm to believe, what Quad is saying. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I find this very interesting. And you know what I got to say? I really like when Bravo has, other Bravo celebrities commenting on the dynamics on one show or another. To me, that always makes things a little bit more exciting, and it obviously gives us more to talk about, right? So I want to move on to that good Kenya and Porsha. Now, you guys know that the ladies are doing they're doing the after show, right? All the ladies doing the after show, and the ladies get paired off with different people and whatnot, and then they talk about what happened on the show. I love the after shows, right? I was trying to incorporate after show information into my reviews and recaps of the episodes, but I find that it is already a lot to cover and I don't want to overwhelm y'all. So after shows, speak on it, and such like that will be covered the day after the recaps because I don't want to overwhelm you or myself. But now that we got the issues covered and now that we're talking about it, you know, the ladies give their rundown about what's going on with the situation. And one of the producers asked Porsha, now this was a read right here, okay? I want y'all to listen, pay attention. The producer says, why do you think Kenya cares so much about what happened during the midnight hours, okay, when the bolo was a stirring, okay, and everybody was hot and heavy, okay? Shamia says, I don't think she cares about what happened. I just think she cares about Porsha. So they show these flashbacks of Kenya taking digs at Porsha throughout the season. Porsha says that she has felt the stings, but she hadn't really been engaging with Kenya. And she says that Kenya thought that this would be the thing. She felt like she was poking at her, and as a result of the way that Shamia was laying out what Kenya had been doing when she had been doing her day-long investigation of the Bolo court, she felt like she knew that Kenya wanted her or Porsha to be the finale of the trip. You know what I'm saying? To have some big moment with Porsha where Porsha would engage and go off or whatever. And Porsha was determined not to give it to her. But she says that she had to let Tanya have her own natural reactions. Now, you know, you got Drew and you got Shamia doing the after show with Porsha. So they, you know, they faces giving real shady reactions and whatnot. Y'all know how they do. And so Porsha said, this is where the savageness came through. She says, I would not have such a, this is Porsha, I would not have such a smooth forehead and a round booty if I was as miserable as Kenya. And that is why she has lumps. And that is why her mouth is twisted. And you can drive the bus we were on through the dents in her butt and her face. I would rather have my frown lines go up than to be dealing with negativity in my life. Now, I didn't know that the lady's mouth was twisted. Is that something? Had y'all seen? I didn't know the mouth was twisted. I didn't know. I was like, ooh, the mouth twisted. I mean, the mouth had to be like, to be twisted, right? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comment section down below. I ain't noticed it, but I was like, ooh, that was some savageness right there. Anyway, not to be outdone, your girl Kenya was responding to a lot of things throughout the episode as well, okay? She made her thoughts known via the Twitter, okay? She said Porsha is, somebody, she retweeted this and then basically added her own verbiage. Someone said Porsha is doing the usual, getting caught and using Kenya as the fall guy. Kenya says every single time, okay? Then, okay, she says, see, what we're not going to do is accuse me of lying, okay? If you don't want your private business out there, then don't do it on a reality show in the cast house. Did we forget why the dungeon was named the dungeon? Okay, so, you know, a lot of people have a lot of feelings about this, and I myself personally, and Kandi talked about this in her speak on it, that a lot of the ladies probably felt safe doing things because most of the ladies were all engaging in the behavior. So maybe everybody thought it was safe because everybody else was doing things as well. Now, Kandi did not name names and she did not name specific actions, but she really said that a lot of other people was involved in the shenanigans, okay? So she says this, Kenya goes on and she says, they roasted me over a crab cake. What do you think they would have done if it were me in that room? She says, hypocrisy at its best, my friendships matter, okay? And then she goes on to say, because somebody tweeted and said, Kenya is not the friend you do dirt in front of. And she says, yes, I'm loyal, but not if my friendship doesn't matter. See how that works? I do have some thoughts about this situation. I think that the ladies roasted her over the crab cake because there was nothing for them to eat, okay? She ordered the crab cake for herself and they were hungry. So there is a reason for that roast, right? But I don't think that they would have really roasted her over what had happened, you know, during the dungeon party, because I felt like everybody was too involved in their own chaos to really think about, okay, who's doing what with whom and when they're doing it. The only people who was really worried about that was the people who weren't involved, okay? So to me, it seems like that would have been a situation where everybody would have just been kind of talking around the situation the next day and not really engaging in, you know, too much, let's put it on camera what other people were doing afterwards. I don't think that they would have done that to her. I really don't. To be quite honest with you, I think that everybody else would have been so busy doing their own thing that they wouldn't have really cared about what she was doing. That's my thought, and that's my honest opinion. She also says, yes, I'm loyal, but not if my friendship doesn't matter. And I guess that's really her watching the scene and basically saying that, you know, hearing Porsha say that her friendship with her doesn't matter. But in the moment, it didn't matter anyway, because you were still snooping and doing the investigation. So you didn't even know that she said that at that moment. So it doesn't really, this doesn't really work. That comment doesn't really work right there. But it is true, but it doesn't work, if you understand what I'm saying. I don't know. You know, I'm going to tell you like this. Listen, again, I stated it yesterday. What people do when they on their own time is their own business. Would I have done it? I don't know. You know, I guess it depends on how drunk I was. But at the end of the day, I would like to think that I wouldn't, because I still am pretty cognizant of the fact that, you know, cameras can still be in some places, and that people who may not like me may still not like me in the morning, and they still may go back and tell some stuff, right? But on the other side of that, you know, if it wasn't for Kenya doing the snooperization, we might not know what really happened. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, in a little way, I mean, kind of we got to thank Kenya for doing what she did, because otherwise we wouldn't know all the juicy details of what actually occurred during this dungeon party, okay? So let's just keep that in mind, okay? With that being said, guys, that's all we got for you guys at this moment. But if some more news drops and it pops and it's really making some waves, you know, we'll come back and talk about it, okay? Otherwise, I will catch you in the next video.